What is up, my friends? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am so excited about today's video because we're going to talk about how I made $80,000 of straight up passive income using an app called Kajabi. Now, if you're not familiar with what Kajabi is, it's an app that allows you to monetize your knowledge. Not just your knowledge, but content in general. If you've heard of Patreon or YouTube subscriptions, it's kind of like that, but it's a lot more multi-dimensional. You can do things like one-on-one coaching. You can create a community. You can create a subscription model. You can sell challenges. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this app. I'm probably forgetting quite a few of them right now, but what's really cool is you can build something around the topics that you absolutely love. On top of that, you can do it very part-time. I created a six-figure business in less than 10 hours per week. The passive part takes a lot less time than that because I don't have to be spending time doing one-on-one calls with people, and I'll show you all about this. Before we dive in though, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button, like this video, make sure you follow me, because if you love topics like money, mindset, and motivation, then I am your guy and I want to be here for you. Okay, my friends, let's dive in. So on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a very cool three-step process on how to take those cool ideas inside of your head and actually turn that into passive income. And you can do this part-time. You can do this as a side hustle, or if you already have a job and you're not planning on leaving, you just want to make a little bit of extra income. But make sure you stay around to the end, because I'm going to actually show you how you can get started today on this path to making some passive income like I have. Now, before I dive into those three steps, I just wanted to share with you kind of like a story about how I even got started on this path, on this journey, building a business outside of my career in sales. So I've had a very successful career in sales. I've been doing that for probably about 10 years now. Absolutely love it. Had no plans on doing anything else. And what happened is, with many of you, like, COVID rocked my world. I was planning on doing sales for the rest of my life, and COVID came along, and my business, being in sales and working with hospitals, got absolutely crushed because hospitals got shut down for about 3 months, which actually put a big crimp in our normally financially strong pipeline. So I needed to have a backup plan. And around that time, I was getting really active on LinkedIn. I was having fun creating content around mindset, around sales, around marketing, and just kind of growing my voice. And what happened is, when I was using LinkedIn, a lot of people started asking me about how I was using that. Now, during that time when it was really slow during COVID, I needed some extra money. So I started doing some coaching. I started helping people with mindset. I probably onboarded about 3 or 4 clients for mindset coaching. But what was really cool is I was fascinated with this idea of creating digital courses, because in my head, digital courses was something that I could create and sell from anywhere in the world. And I can do it part-time. I can do it whenever I want. And once I create the content, then I would be able to highly leverage myself by selling digital products such as courses. So that really piqued my interest, and that's how I came across the app called Kajabi. Now, what was cool is I needed a topic to teach, and since people were asking me around LinkedIn, I thought, why not? I'm just going to give this a go. So that became my first course. The first time I ever made money with a digital course was creating a very structured course teaching people about how to use LinkedIn, how to use that as a tool to make money online as well. Now, what was really cool about that is I went out and did it, right? It wasn't like a crazy financial success, but I probably made about $2,500. And it was pretty rough going in the beginning, but I just kind of went with it, right? I created an outline. These were the exact steps that I used to create my social media presence on LinkedIn. Step by step, I wrote it down. Then I started recording some videos. I did a live component where I answered questions in front of people. And what was cool is, at the end of the day, $2,500 was like getting paid to create a course. And then future iterations of that course started to evolve, and I launched it again and again, and I refined it. I got better and better. I started making more money, and that created a whole entire business for me. But what's cool is, more recently, I've scaled back on the coaching piece, the part where I need to be actually involved from a live perspective, and I've phased more into the passive components of rolling out what's called evergreen products. This is what I was talking about, the digital stuff that you can sell anytime, anywhere, and you could be making money literally in your sleep and creating passive income using Kajabi. So next up, I'm going to start diving into my 3-step process on exactly how to do this. Okay, so step number one, this is what I call creating traffic. And this is where you build an engaged following that loves your content. This is what's so fun is you get to pick a topic that you love, something that you're passionate about, that you love to talk about and share with others, something that you have authority or knowledge in, or that you can create knowledge and authority in. See, you can just start from scratch on all this stuff. But what you're going to do is you're going to use social media to start creating traffic, to start creating a following. And they're going to start loving what you're putting out. They're going to start getting to know, like, and trust you. And then later, we're going to be able to monetize this. So what this is called is content marketing. So standard marketing is like advertising in a magazine or advertising online, where you take your products or your services and you pay money to put it right in front of an audience. Now, what's cool is with social media, we all have so much potential to grab our own audiences. We don't have to have like a TV show and a network to do this. Anybody can create their own network television show. You can use YouTube. You can use a podcast. You can even write stuff for a blog. But most of the people are very familiar with social media, and it's a really great way to get started with content marketing. Now, I'm going to give you an example of content marketing that is awesome. So, Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars geek. I've been a Star Wars fan forever. I'm not that big of a geek, but I kind of am. Our family is. So Star Wars, they came out with 3 movies, and then they came out 3 more movies, then another trilogy. So they had 9 movies, and then they had some offshoot movies. They probably got like 15 or 16 movies out. After that, they started putting out series on the Disney Channel, right? So is Star Wars making a bunch of money off of the movies? Probably not. Maybe in the old days when they had to go to the theater and stuff. But now with the series, that's not where the money comes from. The money comes from them selling merchandise. Lego is the same way. Like Lego used to just be a toy, but now they're making all this cool content. They have like a theme park. So what that does is they're using entertaining content to create traffic. And then with that traffic, it's really easy to create offers, services, products, whatever you want to sell to that audience. So again, step number 1 is having you do the same thing by creating your own content marketing strategy. For me, like LinkedIn was my preferred method of creating my following. I started putting out content around mindset, around sales, sharing tips and strategies, sharing my story. And what happens is people start to get really tuned into your content, and that's where the traffic comes from. So I want you to do the same thing. I want you to pick out your topic, something that you know about, something that you are passionate about, something that lights you up and it's easy to talk about. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to pick a platform to create the following on. Okay, so step number 2 is what I call owning your traffic. Usually we're using somebody else's platform to do that. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Here's the problem with doing all your business on social platforms is you could get shut down at any time. I've had a lot of friends who spent, years and years cultivating their traffic, growing their traffic, and then out of nowhere, their account gets shut down. It gets hacked, or maybe the platform doesn't like something you did, and they shut down your profile page, and you have a really hard time reactivating that. But sometimes you don't even get it back. Now, here's what I want you to do is we're going to take traffic from social media and we're going to drive it to an email list. So here's what's cool about Kajabi is it's got an integrated email list function, meaning that you can use it to market to people using email marketing instead of just social media. Think of being on a highway. We're talking about traffic, right? You're driving down a highway and you can think of that traffic as social media or search engines or whatever. The off-ramp is what we're going to do. So we're going to off-ramp the traffic that we generate through our content using social media or other platforms, and we're going to move that to an email list. Now, Kajabi, this is where the app starts coming in, is we're going to filter people, move them into the Kajabi app where we have a lot more control. I call this owning traffic. Now, there's a couple ways that you can do this. One is just to ask people to join your newsletter or your email list, and you'll use Kajabi to set up a page where people can leave their name and their email. And the expectation around that is they're going to get something of value from exchanging their email. Now, this could be something like a newsletter, like saying, hey, each week I'm going to send out a very specific newsletter where I'm going to cover this topic. Maybe the stuff that you're interested in is health and nutrition. So, each week I'm going to share a recipe with you or a new workout, right? Or, if you're interested in mindset or marketing or personal development, I'm going to share with you some special tricks or some behind the scenes stuff. So I want you to join my email list. If you watch some of my videos, the call to action that I have is go into the description and join my VIP list. I've got some gifts for you there. Another way to do that is what is called a lead magnet. So instead of just a general call to action to join your email list, you can create something of value like a checklist, a PDF, a workbook, a mini training. You can even take something that you recorded. Like, for example, I did an entrepreneur summit at the earlier part of the year, and I took the recording and I put it into Kajabi, and now I have a way to exchange an email address for access to this course that I've already done. And that's what I love is you can repurpose a lot of content, meaning now I have this digital asset that can be used over and over. And this is where you really start getting into the power of Kajabi and course creation, because now you're starting to stop trading time for money and start learning how to leverage your digital assets. So first digital asset I'm going to talk about is what's called a lead magnet. So that's the training, the workbook, the PDF, whatever it is, mini course, mini training challenge. And you're going to use that as a gift to the person who's in your funnel. And this is like the literal off-ramp to that freeway, taking traffic and moving it to your email list. And Kajabi allows you to set this up. So I can have a training or my general email list that people can join. They can opt into it. And in exchange, they get something of value. Now, from here, what I want to do is I want to come up with a consistent strategy. So on social media, I'm always adding value. I'm sharing content that people are interested in, but we're going to notch it up a little bit. We're going to create a newsletter or a weekly email list, something like that, where we're consistently sharing some behind the scenes stuff with our email list. These are our VIPs. These are our true fans, right? People who are interested in our stuff are on social media, but the people who are really digging on it, we've now taken them the off-ramp and move them into the Kajabi app, where we can give them a higher level, think about VIP list, right? You have a dance club or whatever, and then you have the VIP section. That's what we're going to do with our email list, is we're going to create your own VIP section for your raving fans that you are creating through your content. Okay, so step number 3, this is where we start making some money. This is called converting traffic. So recap, step number 1, using social media to create the traffic. Step number 2, you're going to take them on the off-ramp into your email list. That's step number 2, where you own the traffic. Step number 3 is where you actually start to convert traffic. So here's the thing is people are starting to consume your content, and they really get to know you and like you and trust you through this process. So eventually what you're going to do is you're going to start creating what I call offers. And these are digital assets that, include a higher level of training or a higher level of content that, in exchange for money. So we create free content on social media. We create a little bit more exclusive content via our email list or our newsletter. This can be a course. This can be one-on-one coaching. This can be a course with a live component to this. This could be some type of a subscription model, like, a podcast where people pay a little bit more money for some exclusive content. This could be a challenge, like a 5-day, morning routine challenge. The opportunities are limitless, and you can combine different offers, and you can have what's called a value stack, where you have low, mid, and high ticket offers to sell to people. What's really cool, if you think about the natural progression of this, people come across you on social media, or they found you on your podcast or YouTube channel, and they just get to know you, but they're not really ready to spend money. But then they will get onto your email list, and then they start to feel like VIPs, and then you're starting to nurture that relationship, so to speak. And then you can roll out low ticket offers. For example, I've got, right now I've got a $27 training on how to overcome sales, or how to align with sales objections and how to turn those into opportunities. Okay, it's a workbook. It's a 70-page workbook that I created. And that is now a digital asset that I can sell over and over and over. That LinkedIn course that I told you about, I told you the very first thing I created was a how to use LinkedIn to generate leads course. I did that at the end of 2020, and it was really rough in the beginning, and I reiterated. That's now sold 6 figures for me. And now what's cool is I don't even have a live component to this. This digital asset just sits there, and I can sell it anytime I want. I can't tell you how good it feels to wake up in the morning and get a notification from Kajabi that says there's a new student enrolled in one of your offers. And now that it's been a while, I've created multiple types of offers, and I'm starting to remove the live component. What I'm interested in is the passive part, because if you watch this channel, you know I'm obsessed with passive income, because you can do this from anywhere in the world and it's highly leveraged. The more you grow your following, the more you grow your email list, the more easy it is to convert traffic into sales, to sell low ticket, to sell medium ticket offers, and to sell high ticket offers. Now, the way I would describe that is a low ticket offer is something between $1 and $299. Mid ticket would be like $300 up into, $1,500 or $2,000. Okay, high ticket, this is where somebody wants a little bit more attention. Usually this is one-on-one or group coaching with a live component. But that's where you can start charging, $1,500, $2,000 a month. A lot of times when I was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching, I was charging $2,000 per client for one-on-one coaching. And that's usually about 4 hours per month. So you can make a lot of money doing this. But what's cool about Kajabi is you're also giving options to people if they don't have that type of a budget. And you're bringing them into your ecosystem, right? If somebody's willing to pay $27 for, a workbook or something, okay, they've given you money. You've literally created money. And you've also got an asset that you can sell over and over and over again. But the person who buys that, if they have a good experience, they're most likely going to buy something that you put out later down the road, something that costs a little bit more. Maybe you do a challenge or a boot camp or even like, a one-day workshop, right? So you can start charging more and more money. And, if you're providing a really good experience for your clients, a lot of times these become what I call lifetime customers. Most of the people who have paid, money to be a one-on-one client for me, they first bought a course. And before they bought a course, they bought like a mini course, or they bought, they opted in on my list and got a lead magnet. And here's what's cool is a lot of coaches are like, oh, I make all my money off of one-on-one coaching. Well, if you use Kajabi, you've just added like 6 different levels that you can also monetize that you weren't even thinking about. So this is really powerful. Now, here's one thing I will say, okay? You have to look at this as a long game. So I do a lot of coaching for entrepreneurs and other coaches, and I will tell you this, that like most people give up way too early. They give it a shot. They're like, oh, I'm gonna chase my dream of being a coach. Sounds so great, right? Teach people, serve other people, help them out, and make money. That's brilliant. It's genius, right? And anybody can do this. The problem is most people give up way too early. It takes time to build your following. It takes time to understand marketing and sales and content creation and how to convert offers, right? That's something that's going to be a journey. So you've got to have a longer term perspective. A lot of people, they will launch their first digital course and they're going to get a couple of sales. And what happens is most people feel really deflated by that. So you've got to look at the initial phase. Like I told you, my very first course, I made $2,500. One of my buddies, he made $750, and I was so pumped for him because he just validated that idea. He made money figuring out if it was something that he could sell. So I want you to look at this journey as like you are actually getting paid to figure this out. If you get too hung up on the numbers and the outcomes, what'll often happen is you'll see like that influencer who's making $1 million a year, and you're going to feel like you're not doing it good enough. You're going to get imposter syndrome. That's going to start messing with your head. You've got to look at this as a long-term journey and be willing to embrace what it takes to learn this process. I'm going to recap it again. Step number 1, you are going to create traffic on social media or some other platform. Step number 2 is you're going to move that traffic and bring them into the Kajabi app and start creating content. Step number 3, once you've created that audience, and it doesn't have to be big. I didn't even have an email list when I sold my first course, okay? You're going to make a lot of passive income. You're going to be able to remove yourself from the equation and let technology amplify who you are. That is what is so powerful about this app, is you're going away from just trading your time for money to using a system to create passive income where you make money literally while you are asleep. Okay, so now that you know my 3-step process, it's time to take some action. It's time to put this into place. I'm gonna give you a couple of things to do, a little bit of a homework assignment. So if you have not done step number 1, where you have cultivated some type of an engaged following around a topic, that is what I want you to work on. But here's the deal. Inside of the description of this video is going to be a link to my email list. I want you to see how this process works. So if you're watching this video, if you haven't been consuming my content, you just came across this, you found this video, okay, I'm actually demonstrating what I am doing. So I want you to opt in to my VIP list. The link is in the description. This is step number 1, moving to step number 2, taking traffic that is on that freeway and moving it onto the off-ramp. That way you'll get to see some of the content that I give to my more exclusive VIP list. Now, let's say you do have an active and engaged following around a topic. Let's say you've been coaching and maybe you have some clients and you want to amp it up. Okay, you're ready to go to step number 2 where you create this all out. Okay, so what I want you to do is there's also a link for a 30-day free trial to Kajabi, right? You're gonna actually jump in and start this right now. What I want you to do is I want you to create an offer. Now, there's all kinds of templates inside of Kajabi that allow you to do this. There's even an AI course creation page that you can use where you can talk about the topic that you want to teach, and Kajabi will use AI and structure out your course. Okay. Now, I don't want you to go all in if you're not ready to do that, but what I want you to do is use the 30-day trial and get started. Start to create an email list. Learn how to set that up. There are plenty of videos that teach you how to do this. Plus, I'll be dropping some additional content showing you more of these strategies. But I want you to sign up for the 30 days. And here's the thing. I want you to think resourcefully and find a way to pay for this. And there's 2 things that I'm going to share with you on how to do that. Okay. When I first signed up for Kajabi, it's around, I think, $159 a month or $200 or $2,000 a year. So what I did is I used the 30-day free trial, and I did a morning routine challenge. I don't even need to know about the topic, but I just got a bunch of people to do a morning routine with me. I charged $37. I think we enrolled 50 or 60 people. Boom, that paid for a year's worth of Kajabi. After I had that paid for, I was able to build more offers to sell to my audience. Okay, that's one way. Another thing that you can do is just refer the app like I am to you. Okay, I've dropped a link in there, the 30-day free trial. Well, once you start using Kajabi, another thing that you can do, and you can kind of even do a combination of this, but if you like the app and you share it with other people that are asking you about it, they give you a 30% commission off of the revenue that they make. So if you have 3 people that you refer Kajabi to, you've almost got your whole entire app paid for a year. Now, this is what's so cool. I told you that I made around $80,000 of passive income using this app. I've actually made a lot more than that when you consider the live or the coaching aspect to it. If I added in the sales I made through ClickFunnels or through PayPal or Stripe, it would be a lot more than that. But we're just talking $80,000 in straight passive income. I want you to do the same, okay? And just know it's going to take some time to do that. So you know the action steps. If you need to build a following, I want you to join my VIP email list in the description. If you've already cultivated a following, then what I want you to do is go to step number 2 and use the 30-day Kajabi trial, set yourself up, go through some of those videos and start playing around with that. Create an email list, create a lead magnet, create a challenge, or map out a course, but get involved, get active, and then play the long game and do this until you're making a lot of money on this platform. Okay, now the last thing I want you to do is make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I want to be here for you week in and week out, delivering valuable content that's going to improve your mindset, that's going to make you more money and really enjoy life to the max. I'll catch you on the next video.